Shalom Akim, Yabashim Shai, Barakatam, Bashamar Kwakwadash, double honors and salutations to the elder and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well with all sincerity and diligence. Yahushai, it's Brother Nasher, just a quick, impromptu video, because, folks in Babylon been celebrating July the 4th, now July the 5th, I just had to take some time, sit back, see folks, just being a menace, lighting up fireworks and all that madness, drinking all that Babylonian juice. But at the end of the day, man, Jake is just trying the best to have a good time while they're in captivity. But that's not the way the Most High has set it up for Jake. Jake is catching hell, but yet they're thinking there's a silver lining at the end of the tunnel here in Babylon, depending on Esau's system. So I'm going to read this scripture real quick, and I'll play the video, about Jake being at the bottom of the totem pole. So this is Baruch chapter 3 verse 8. It says, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord, Yahweh Shai, our power. Alright, so celebrating July 4th, observing these holidays here in Babylon, it's a cause for the Mosai to put more hell on Jake, because our nation's filled with folks of that have a stiff neck. They can't get enough of Esau's Babylonian, system. They always want to find new ways of relieving their stress. But they're not going to turn to the Lord Yahbashim al-Shah until it's too late. Alright, so I'm going to play this video real quick. Alright. Satan right there with weirdo ads. That's all right.
Say hello to Jackson, a citizen of the wealthiest country the world has ever known. And yet, he's clothed in handouts. His parents can't find work. They have no home of their own. And every morning, they come to the Manor House charity, where the poor of Baltimore meet for a little food, warmth, and compassion. What is your message to President Trump?
Come and help us. Instead of critiquing us, come help us, and you will see that we need help, bad.
Yep. So that's exactly what the Mosai talked about, to the prophets, that Jake is gonna catch hell. When you read the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68, talks about being a bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy Jake, shall buy Israel, shall save the nation of Israel. That's exactly what you're seeing right here. Jake thinking all these government subsidies, these government programs will be the way out of poverty. Not understand that that of the nation of Israel, the Mosai put a curse upon our nation. Alright, so by Jake looking into the Edomite system for relief and a solution, that's basically wrong.
In much of America, this is a story of two worlds. Baltimore is actually something of a boomtown these days, but it doesn't feel like it in many parts of the city. In this economy, there is no trickle-down. Gun crime is surging here. Baltimore was even more violent than Chicago last year, driven by gang turf wars. For some of its residents, this is a city where selling your body or selling drugs is the only job available.
If you want to know what poverty in America looks like, well, this is it. Incredibly, this entire block here is pretty much made up of dilapidated, abandoned houses. Incredibly, some people are still living in between this, though. Under President Obama, poverty grew in America, and President Trump says he's going to fix it. He's going to deal with what he calls the carnage in America of crime, of drugs, of gangs, of violence, and of poverty. Well, there are few places better to try and do that than Baltimore.
Marcus Alsop has lived here for 40 years. He repairs the city's homes.
That was the state of mind of Jake, man. You see how the neighborhood is all fucked up? It's a reflection of the state of mind Jake is in, man. You know, being broke, you know, being poor is no excuse to have a dilapidated neighborhood, man. A fucked up neighborhood. You know, poverty is not an excuse, you know. So it's like Jake could put so much effort into selling drugs, you know, getting guns and all that stuff. Take your life, destroy. But they can't convert that mindset, you know, to making things better for the neighborhood, you know. So everything is run down, you know. They barely, you know, give a shit.
An eyewitness to the worst Baltimore has to offer.
The poor living are in the single houses, the row houses in Baltimore City, where they're generally rat infested, regardless of what you do as a person living there. Roaches, mice, I mean, an epidemic in bed bugs. I mean, the neighborhoods are falling apart, not because the people are bad people. We're underpaid, undereducated, and so many of us have been living like this for the second and third generation until we don't even know how to change. Despair is a way of living.
Yep. So that's what exactly, you know, the man brought the point on, man. Despair. You know, Jake has lost hope. So I'm going to read this scripture from Lamentation chapter 4. It says, I'll go straight to the point. All right. So this is Lamentation chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Alright, so, you know, Jake is gonna catch hell, man. You know, whatever they try to do, you know, one step forward, 10,000 steps backwards. That's the life of Jake here in America, man. Babylon the Great. You know, so whatever so-called Independence Day parties or get-togethers they're having, you know, it's all BS, you know. The Most High is expecting Jake to face the east, you know, and cry unto him in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, for deliverance. You know, so it's gonna only get worse for Jake, man, because they're confused, you know. You bring out the word of Yahweh Shem Shai to them on the highways and the byways, they don't want to hear it. So what else is the Most High gonna do? You know, but put them into that grandeur, you know, which is Esau's martial law that's going to be taking place very soon, man. You know, so some folks out there thinking July 4th is about celebration, but for the Edomites that are waking up, man, they understand that civil war is on the brink, you know. And they're preparing themselves, but they know it's all gonna go to nuts anyway. It's all gonna collapse. So whatever in the kind of ideas Edomites have, man, it's all worthless, man. You know, the Most High put it in visions to show to them that, you know, they see America burning and being destroyed, and then they hear the prophecies, you know, from the men of the Lord on the highways and byways and the videos brothers are uploading, and then they get depressed, you know. They start offing themselves, you know. So it's a spiritual thing, man. You know, the salvation of the nation of Israel is on its way, but for 2/3, you know, they're gonna get the harsh dose of reality. You know, calling on President Trump to do something is not gonna, you know, bring about salvation. You know, they should be calling on the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. Alright, so with that being said, Akim, you know, stay faithful, stay humble, you know, don't get caught up in observing these Babylonian holidays, man. You know, it's a grief, you know, it brings grief, man, to the mind. So Akim, just stay focused, man, you know, stay hard to the core of Yahushai's message. Don't run away from your responsibilities, man of the Lord, man. It's gonna be hard, but you just gotta get harder against these tough times we're coming into. So double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well in righteousness in the name of Yahushai. Akim, stay faithful, keep fighting the good fight of faith. Shalom.